Consider most of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
so nothing in the plans is set.
Right.
It's all just allowing us to
Everybody ready?
do stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That was loud. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our November 17th meeting of the Board of Ed. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I'd like to start with the salute to the flag, if you please rise. And we're going to have a moment of silence for the retiree Margot Paulos, father of Janine Rotondo, and the mother-in-law of Julie Magnuson. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to start with our agenda for the evening. Item D, approval of minutes for October 6th, 20th, and November 3rd of 2022. Item E, acknowledgement and acceptance of financial reports and budget transfers as printed. And item F, communications to the Board of Education. Communications were received from Jean DiBiase, Marilyn Rich, Jennifer Kramer, Christine and Joseph Boyce. Can I have a motion?
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item G, superintendent's report.
Great, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending tonight. I'm John McNamara, Superintendent of Schools. We appreciate you joining us. I'm going to start tonight just by speaking to a couple of things. One, see, this doesn't want to advance. Hold on one second. There we go. We always like to start our meetings with some celebration and recognize some achievements. So we're going to start tonight by recognizing a member of our staff that is going to be receiving tenure. The board will be granting tonight. And that is one of our school psychologists from Mandalay Elementary School, Maria Managalos, who is here tonight. I want to congratulate Maria on this outstanding accomplishment. It has been a pleasure to get to know Maria over the past several years. She has done just an outstanding job supporting our students in Mandalay. She has been just a great resource to our students there, providing support for our students that truly need that support. She has been a great resource for our parents, always available, always accessible, always responsive, and she has been a great support for our staff there. She is an integral part of the building in Mandalay. Anybody that has a child there knows who Maria is, and she is always present. When you stop by Mandalay, you see Maria like she's on a pair of roller skates going from room to room to support our students. She's been a really important part of some of the new program that we've started here in the district over the past couple of years, really making an effort to maintain students in our district and keep students from having to go to outside placements. We've created some program, and Maria's done a great job supporting those students. We have a formal recognition night for our teachers that receive tenure in May each year. Maria's off cycle a little bit with that, and we're going to be recognizing her that evening as well. But we wanted to certainly note this important accomplishment and significant achievement for her tonight. So congratulations to Maria. She's here. I certainly want to extend our congratulations. Right. Other news for the board. We've certainly been working diligently over the past couple of years on preparing for our bond. We have a bond vote on December 6th, really targeted at improving our facilities across the district, across all of our schools. We have launched a capital improvements committee that has done great work in really providing some guidance and recommendations to the district and areas that need to be addressed. I want to thank, and I know many of the folks that are here tonight have participated in our informational meetings on our bond, provided feedback, participated in our survey work. And I want to thank all those folks that took time out of their busy schedules to be with us and help us through that process. That feedback has certainly been extremely valuable to us. And we look forward to our vote in December. The vote will take place on December 6th. We'll be at each of our elementary schools from 7 o'clock a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Just to highlight, and I know for many of you, just looking around, you've heard this presentation many a time, so I'm going to do the very short summary version of it. All of this information is detailed along with all the presentations that we've done. All the recordings of those presentations are located online as well. We have a dedicated page on our district website. The dedicated page is right off the main page. You'll see the bond referendum link there. I thank Mr. Cedrone, who compiles all that and has put all that information together. But what we're going to be asking is the community to vote on 3 propositions. The first proposition is really what we call our infrastructure proposition, and it's focused on window replacement, unit ventilator replacement, and upgrading electrical service. And that's proposition number 1. We are in need of upgrading all of those areas. In many of our classrooms, those unit ventilators are original to our buildings. The average age of our buildings is about 65 years old. So that's proposition number 1. Proposition number 2 is more of our extracurricular areas. It focuses on our district auditorium, which is, we have 1 auditorium space for our district, on our athletic fields, and on playgrounds across the district. And then proposition number 3 is cafeteria renovations, full renovation of Wantagh High School cafeteria and kitchen, and then kitchen renovations at our elementary schools, courtyard renovation, both here at the high school and middle school library, and then our bathrooms across all 5 buildings in our district. The way that the bond referendum is structured is that proposition number 1 must pass for propositions 2 or 3 to pass. Proposition 2 is contingent on proposition 1 passing. Proposition 3 is contingent on proposition 1 passing. And the reason that it is structured that way, or 2 reasons. One is those are really our core infrastructure projects in proposition 1 that we want to address certainly more quickly and are more pressing for us. And also, it was really the charge of the board to put out a proposition that was budget neutral. We have some debt service that we're retiring this year and next year in the district from some of the projects that were done over a dozen years ago. With this gym that was built here at the high school, and then the extensions that were done at the elementary schools. And the thought was to, when we started to develop this plan in 2018 and 19, was to replace some of the existing debt service that we had with new debt service to do it in a budget neutral way. So everything in proposition 1, we're looking to do in a budget neutral way. Proposition 2 and proposition 3 are not budget neutral. We're estimating on the average home in Wantagh, proposition 2 is about $11 per month, and proposition 3 is about $9 per month. And giving the community the choice in terms of those broken down that way. So that's a summary. All of the details of the bond referendum are located on our district website, and certainly happy to answer any questions that folks may have after the meeting. I'm happy to hang around and take any of those questions as well. And then another area of focus for us this year has, as it has been for the past several years, has been on our infrastructure for our network and our network security. Technology plays such a critical role in everything we do each and every day here. Certainly in all of our classrooms. As we worked our way through COVID, it became even more important to us in terms of what we were doing to deliver instruction each day. And I wanted to take some time tonight. I have our Director of Technology here, Mrs. Penny Curry. Her and her team have done an outstanding job over the past several years of continuing to upgrade our infrastructure and really continue to protect us as a district. For some of you that are present here, you may recall we had a cyber attack on the district several years ago. And ever since then, that's been something that we have been certainly very focused on. And there has been really a multi-layered approach to improving our network security. And Penny and her team have been on top of it. It was a big undertaking in the first year of that, and they have continued that work and continue to support our network infrastructure and security and all of our expanding programs. We really charged her with developing an ongoing plan to maintain that infrastructure and that security. So I asked Penny to be here tonight to update the board on some of the work that she's been doing. So I'm going to invite her to the microphone to do that. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So that day was May 2nd, 2019, one day that I will never, ever, ever forget. And I know that John and Mr. Greco and Mr. Fisher, who were on the board at the time, certainly will not as well. We've come really far. And also this past summer, spring, we redid our technology plan as well. And when you write something and you go through it and you're just living through all of this, you read back. And one night I wanted to go to sleep, so I pulled out our tech plan and I read through it and I emailed John. I'm like, oh my gosh, we really did all of that. We've really come far. And before I even start, what I do have to say is the support and ongoing support of Mr. McNamara and the entire Board of Education has really been the reason why we've been able to come where we've come from. Has nothing to do with viruses. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's just everybody's dedication. So just quickly, what we did was when it happened, we knew obviously we needed to do things differently. We researched, we looked into programs, but the number one thing that we knew we needed to do was to get everything into the cloud. When we were hit with our cyber attack, we had some servers in the cloud, we had our email system on premise, we had all of our files, our databases on premise. So that was the first step that we did. And a few things that we took into place, we moved to Office 365. That was the first step that we did right away. We moved our email, we moved our applications, all of that to the cloud. And then as time went on, we started to build in more of an infrastructure. We've now moved all of our servers into Microsoft Azure, which is kind of just a big, huge cloud-based system of servers across the country. And then as well as that, what we've done is we've also incorporated Google with Azure. We've changed our servers years ago. In fact, Mr. Greco and Mr. Fisher will remember when we expanded our network closet. It was a huge undertaking. It's like 7 years ago, and now we use it for storage, not file storage, because all of our servers, for the most part, are all in the cloud. We changed our Windows firewall system, our network system. We have, just looking to see, this is what happens when you get old. We've changed our way of sending packages. It's called putting onto the computers. We use Microsoft Intune to send out updates. We annoy the teachers tremendously. We get emails from them because they're saying, I was in the middle of teaching. See, everybody's shaking their head because I know. I was in the middle of teaching and I got a Windows update. So we're also in the process of training our teachers to know when to set their update settings. Years ago, so these are some of the things that we've put into place. Where years ago we would say, you know what? If we hold off on an update, if we don't do the update, it might mess up something, it might change something. Now when those updates happen, we say, okay, let's do the update, we'll fix what's broken and move on. So some of the other things that we're working on is, our phone systems are on-site. So here we have what to protect, our on-site systems. We still have our network, which is our wired and wireless. One of the things that we did do right away, we literally, when May 2nd happened, we actually broke everything. We started from the ground up. We redid our entire network infrastructure. Our network settings, our connections, called VLANs, the way that everything talks, was kind of all like a big spider web. So we changed that. We made everything run differently so that our administrative network was on one segment, our instructional was on another. And so hopefully what that happens, if we were to have an attack again, it would kind of mitigate and shut down right away, rather than everything just lighting up, for lack of a better word. We've also utilized our Cisco Meraki wireless in a different way. We've always held our wireless secure, but now we absolutely, the guest network and principals here will know, we don't really give out like just a generic one anymore. We'll make it specifically. We try to get users that are coming in register to our network, and students don't have access to the guest network. It's staff and teachers do. They have to register with their devices with their network username and password. So on site, like I said, we really do not have that many servers on site. We have our firewalls, and then our servers that we do have on site are our phone system, our buildings and grounds facility systems, and our cameras and door access and lockdown. And the reason why those are still local and not off-site is because if we were to lose internet access, we still have access to those systems. So those are critical systems that, believe it or not, the technology today, not tomorrow, technology today isn't there yet for allow us to completely move those off-site. So the good news is the things that we do have off-site are extremely important, because it's as important, don't tell Tom Fucci, but as important as buildings and grounds are, our financial data, our student data is 10 times more important. So in the cloud, we have our finance system is actually hosted over at BOCES. That was another thing that immediately after, when we were doing our rebuild, we took our financial system completely off-site. It was always backed up over BOCES, but now it lives over there. So we have Azure, which is our whole cloud-based backup system. We have Office 365 in the cloud, our Google Suite, which has always been in the cloud, Infinite Campus, when we migrated from eSchool a couple of years ago, that's in the cloud. We recently upgraded our transportation system, and that was, quite honestly, May 2nd when I was driving in, and the first phone call I got was they can't access, Linda Scarano can't access the transportation system. And that was the first, so that was the first system. So we're thrilled that all of this is in the cloud now and protected. Our lunch program is completely in the cloud. And our 2 learning management systems, Schoology for the grades 3 to 12, and then Seesaw for our younger grades. So this, unfortunately, it's very hard to see the screen here. When we first started with Microsoft 365, we took baby steps. We started with just the basics of getting our files into the cloud, getting our email into the cloud, but Microsoft has a lot of other tools that we've now increased as we go along, and a lot of them are security tools. One of the programs that Microsoft has is that we'll be incorporating, it's a phishing program that allows us to send out fake emails and not trick people. The goal is to train teachers. It has a built-in training program. So that's definitely one of the tools that's going to be utilized in here. And I'm actually ahead of myself. So what else do we do to protect? Because we know that when, unfortunately, we were attacked, it was through email. So absolutely, our email is scanned. We block files. We block almost everything under the kitchen sink from being through. We don't allow people to send any kind of files over a certain size, receive over a certain size. So what happens is that when somebody says now, well, I need to send this file, it's 2 gigs, and we say, okay, well, you need to contact the person you're sending it to and find a way to do it, because we cannot open up our email system. So whether it's through creating a Google Share, using Microsoft, a Microsoft Share, but we absolutely, and that's one of the things that I've lived through in the past and saying, well, all right, well, we'll open it up for you. We don't do that anymore. So in terms of action steps of what we've done, we've migrated all of our systems that we can at this point. Like I said earlier, that some of the systems are local, and that's just because of the idea of if we were to lose external internet access, we still need access to those systems. We are in the process of enabling multi-factor authentication, and that is absolutely one of the recommendations of any cybersecurity experts out there, is that, believe it or not, the whole we're going to change passwords every 30 days is out the door. And the reason for that is because people still use the same passwords. And all they do is put an extra character, right? Guilty. Put it, you're guilty. So that's why they've changed that protocol and saying it just doesn't work. Because all of these hackers develop tools to, computational tools to figure it out anyway. We are in the process of engaging with an external penetration company, Stetson Group. And what they're going to do is to try to get into our network from the outside. So that's the first step. The second step is over the summer is to do an internal. That one scares me. Because some of the things that we have to do is make sure that things are safe. So the external one will happen hopefully between now and say early spring. And that will be basically if a hacker is trying to come in from the outside. And then we'll be contracting with them to further develop a plan and then do an internal. As if somebody was sitting in an office someplace or in a classroom, going into a computer and plugging something in. The other thing that we did do, and aside, it's not in my notes, is that we absolutely have disabled all flash drives, any kind of, we do allow DVDs again for teachers to show movies, but flash drives, any kind of external storage, it is not allowed. And we don't break either. When we have presenters come, absolutely. If they need the files, we give them to Jordan Lee or John Mazzarella behind there, and they take them and they put them into the system. So just a couple of other just quick things that are going on. Along with cybersecurity, I thought it was just important because cybersecurity isn't just about people getting into our equipment, it's about people getting into our data. And so part of that is making sure that our children are protected and our teachers are protected with our data privacy laws. So there is something relatively new out, and it's called Education Law 2D. And basically this protects our students from their information being taken and sold to third-party vendors. And that's kind of all important. Although it's not cybersecurity, it's still part of security and our responsibility to keep our data safe. So in terms of a timeline, and this one, when Mr. McNamara asked me to develop a timeline, I'm like, I don't even know what we can do tomorrow. Forget about 3 years, from now. And how quickly the timeline was from when we started all of this in 3 years, the things that we've put into place. So I can't even imagine 3 years from now, what else will be in place. Hopefully not much. But so this, like as I mentioned, this winter we're doing the external network penetration. We're also rolling out multi-factor. And what multi-factor is if, I'm sure you're familiar with it, you go to log in and all of a sudden you get an annoying pop-up that says you need to receive a text message on your phone or by email. So that's what that's going to be. And it's a good thing, and it works. And I know that because I was in Pennsylvania last winter and I had it enabled, and all of a sudden I went to use a computer at a hotel conference, and I'm like, oh, darn, I gotta go get my phone, because you can't log in otherwise. And then really the ongoing part of it, like I said, is doing internal, and then more training, and just training and training and training. And that's where the phishing campaigns, the awareness campaigns are going to come in, where teachers and staff will be receiving ongoing emails. And I have to say our staff are pretty good, because if anything does get through, I'm bombarded within 20 seconds with like 1,500 emails saying, I think this is spam, I think this is spam. And the next words are, I didn't click on it. So it is working. All right. Any questions? So that was a good, the question is our financial system right now is currently on site, and it is backed up in the cloud. We are looking with Envision to move that completely to cloud-based, but that's kind of the technology on their end. So it's it is a combination, but our data is definitely backed up in the cloud. Great, thank you.
Once again, I thank Penny and her team for all the work they've done on this. Just want to recognize, I know some are here tonight, are school-related professionals. That was this week, so I just want to thank them for all their hard work in the district. That was on November 15th. They do an outstanding job for us. And certainly from the board and the administrative team, wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and certainly hope they enjoy some time with family and friends in the coming weeks. Yeah, I'll make Yeah, now a little bit, in a couple minutes, the board's going to be accepting resignation for the purpose of retirement from Dr. Stephen Taylor. Steve is one of our school psychologists at Wantagh Middle School. We invited Steve to attend tonight. Unfortunately, he was not able to. He's going to be attending the board meeting in December, and we're going to recognize him then. But I certainly want to congratulate Steve and thank him for his dedication to the district for many years. And we'll officially recognize him next month. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNamara, and thank you very much, Ms. Curry. That was a very thorough presentation, and we appreciate that. Going on with our agenda, we have item H, report of the administration. Item H1, personnel actions, instructional staff. Item H1A, retirement. A letter of resignation for the purpose of retirement has been received from a member of our teaching staff. We wish Stephen Taylor health and happiness in his retirement and thank him for his many years of dedicated service to the education of our children. Item B, resignation. Item C, tenure recommendation. Item D, requests for leave of absence. Item E, temporary appointment for teacher on leave. And item F, rescission of club extracurricular appointments. Can I have a motion?
Move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Item H1G, rescission of coaching appointments. H, extracurricular club offering. I, appointment to club extracurricular activities. J, revision to club extracurricular activities. K, appointment to coaching assignments. And L, appointment of instructional substitutes. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Item H2, personnel actions, civil service. Item H2A, rescission of change in title. B, change in hours. C, change in salary. D, appointments of civil service personnel. And E, appointment of non-instructional substitutes. Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item H3, contractual and other authorizations. H3A, curriculum writing. B, special education tuition contract. C, special education services contracts. D, related service contract. And E, transportation contract. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item H3F, parental transportation contract. G, flood insurance renewal. H, acceptance of external 2021-22 audit. I, corrective action plans, internal audit. J, budget increase. And K, extra classroom activity charters. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item H3L, Wantagh Seaford Tract Center. M, SECRA resolution. N, disposal of obsolete books. O, budget vote trustee election calendar. P, destruction of ballots. And Q, approval of election personnel for 2022 school district elections. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item I, unfinished business, there is none. And item J, new business. Item J1, approval of committees on special education and preschool special education recommendations. And item 2, recertification, school-based planning and shared decision-making plan. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel matters.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that completes our agenda for the evening. We're now going to move to our groups and their reports. We would like to start with our student government. Here with us tonight is Sean Brown.
Good evening, everyone. November has been yet another busy month here at the high school. On Friday, November 4th, the College Virtual Enterprises class participated in a leadership forum at LAU Post University, along with other virtual enterprise students across the island. They learned what it takes to create and maintain a business, as well as gained insight into entrepreneurship. And on November 9th, which was last Wednesday, 16 student athletes signed at Wantagh High School to their respective Division I and II universities for the sports of baseball, lacrosse, softball, soccer, swim, and wrestling, which is pretty impressive. As fall sports are now closing, winter sports begun. The only fall sport that's continuing is the Wantagh High School varsity football team. They're competing for the county championship this Saturday at noon at Hofstra, so come support our Warriors. And the Wantagh High School drama production of Radium Girls is showing tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. It's showing at 7 o'clock tomorrow, 1 and 7 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and 1 in the afternoon on Sunday. Student government is hosting a Thanksgiving food drive from Monday until tomorrow. The grade that collects the most food and donates that food will earn points towards the Battle of the Classes competition in March, which is pretty exciting. And on Tuesday, November 22nd, Wantagh High School will be hosting its annual Senior Variety Show. This includes live and taped skits from the seniors, and there are also special appearances from many of Wantagh's staff as well. So admission's $5, and all of those funds go to support the senior prom this year. And lastly, before our next meeting in December, the Wantagh High School National Honor Society will host its induction ceremony for the junior class on December 5th. So that's all, and thank you for your time here tonight.
Thank you, Sean. Now from the Foundation for Educational Excellence, Barbara and Liz. I know they have some wonderful presentation to give.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Liz Goober, and I'm here on behalf of the Wantagh Foundation, along with my fellow board members, Barbara Brostein and Gail Winchell. Our teacher grant initiative gives teachers more ways to enrich their classroom experience for their students. We've received 20 proposals this year, and we've selected 6 grants that value close to $3,000 to be awarded tonight. For the past year, we are proud to support 15 grants that total over $10,000 given to grants and have been earmarked for different initiatives. Tonight, we want to award and acknowledge the following 6 teachers who are recent recipients of these grants. We want to thank our administration and our board for allowing us to announce and recognize these teachers and thank them for their support. So thank you very much for allowing us to do this tonight. We ask that they come up as we announce your names and stay up for a group photo. So our first recipient tonight is Ms. Clark, formerly known as Ms. McGargle, from the Mandalay School. She's awarded a grant for her peer program. Peer Buddies is a unique reverse mainstreaming opportunity where our general education students will come into a self-contained classroom and participate in various lessons and group building activities. Peer Buddies program promotes acceptance and inclusion. What an amazing program, and congratulations, Ms. Clark. I think she's here. Yep. Congratulations. Our second recipient is Ms. Joyce. She's also a Mandalay teacher, a 4th grade teacher. Her grant will fund a virtual field trip with Kuno, Columbia University Neuroscience Outreach, for her 4th grade class. This will teach and show students the structure, function, and information processing, outlining the parts of the brain cells and how they communicate with the rest of the body through hands-on experience, learning through real-life neuroscientists. Congratulations, Ms. Joyce. Another great initiative. Okay. Okay. Our third recipient is Ms. Palladino. She's a middle school teacher. And this grant will further enrich her algebra units. The foundation is providing funding for her to purchase XY coordinate planes and for her to provide more hands-on models and to enrich the love for algebra. Congratulations, Ms. Palladino, for your grant. Our fourth recipient is Ms. Stocknick from Forest Lake. She's a second grade teacher, and she's awarded a grant to help support her reading workshop curriculum and her classroom library. The hope is that the library will excite her little learners and help them become strong readers. Congratulations. Our fourth recipient, I don't know if she's here tonight, Ms. Tundo. She's an Wantagh elementary teacher. We've provided her a grant for her to purchase Book Creator. It's a technology-based program that allows students to design their own books. Congratulations to her, and we'll provide her certificate at a later time. And finally, our last recipient is Ms. Sebastiano. She is a Wantagh High School teacher that teaches AP Biology. We're happy to fund this yet again. Her AP students will be able to attend the prestigious Dolan DNA Center and complete a laboratory activity where they'll get to analyze a portion of their DNA. This is a fully funded program and will help students prepare a sample for them to analyze, and this is going to be no cost to the students and the parents for that class. So congratulations again. Throughout the year, we'd like to highlight these newly awarded and past grants, and we hope to see them thrive and further enrich our students' learning. We could have not done this without the support and donations of our Wantagh community. Thank you for your continued support, and we welcome any donations and supports going forward. We hope to continue this great initiative during the school year, and we are accepting applications for proposals after the holiday from our teachers. For more information about our foundation, please go to our website and please follow us on social media. So again, congratulations to our six teachers tonight. And we also want to thank all of our teachers for all that you do for our students. Thank you. Picture.
Thank you very much to the foundation. We totally appreciate all the support you're giving our schools and our students through these grants. It's been a wonderful partnership. Thank you. Next is our PTAs. How about Forest Lake? Is Katie or Laura here? No? Okay, Mandalay PTA, Suzanne or Danielle?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me now? I'm loud enough without it. I'm Suzanne Dressler.
I'm Danielle Taravecchia. Good
And we're
evening.
the Mandalay PTA co-presidents. We just wanted to let everyone know a little bit about what's going on at Mandalay. We just recently had our fall festival on October 28th. It was a huge success. The trunks for the trunk or treat were incredible. The parents went above and beyond. They were so creative. They were so fun. They were so interactive. All the kids had a great time, and the 5th grade had a record-breaking fall festival for Mandalay. We also had our 5th grade bake sale, which was another record breaker for the 5th grade. They sold their hearts out all day. Thank you to everybody who came and purchased from the 5th grade. They really did appreciate that. Right now, we also just finished up our White Post Farms Pie fundraiser and our Wantagh Wear fundraiser. And we wrapped up our greeting card fundraiser. And today, the PTA hosted the November school store for our students, grades 1, 3, and 5. And tomorrow, kindergarten, 2nd, and 4th grade will be attending the school store as well. Our beautification committee went to the school today and decorated to make it bright and cheery for the holidays, bring some holiday spirit to the teachers and the students of Mandalay.
Maybe use the mic. Our family recreation committee is still selling tickets to the Islanders. It's a great sale. The game is on Thursday, January 12th. Tickets are selling out fast. They're $45 each, if anybody's interested. We're also selling tickets for our annual PTA dinner. This year, it's going to be held at Stella's. And we're looking forward to a really fun evening. We are working with Kids Toys this year. It's a brand new toy store in Levittown, and every Wednesday in November, if you shop there and tell them you are from Mandalay, they will be donating 15% of your purchase back to Mandalay. And we are also anxiously awaiting our first Thanksgiving Day parade at Mandalay. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much. Wantagh, Vinny or Bridget? Nope. SEPTA, Trish or Liz? Or Mary Beth?
Good evening, everyone. First, I'm going to do 612 because I have that pulled up. So, on October 27th, we had a very successful spooktacular, the 612, the middle and high school. It was great. All the kids, the elementary school kids loved it. Everyone had a great time. We got some really great feedback. We just finished our White Post Farms pie fundraiser. We currently have a pasta fundraiser going on, holiday pasta. There's going to be a sock fundraiser coming soon. We're still selling umbrellas, Ellas. If anyone wants to purchase them. The comedy night is scheduled for March 15th. And then for SEPTA, this Saturday at Wantagh's Turkey Trot and Fall Festival, SEPTA is going to have a country Christmas basket for raffles. If you want to buy raffle tickets, it's 1 for $5 or 3 tickets for $10. So please see, we'll be at there'll be a table there. It's a really cute basket. It's online on our social media. We also have a Wantagh SEPTA cookie fundraiser, holiday cookie decorating fundraiser going on right now with Mama's Custom Cookies. Orders have to be in by December 1st. And you could either pick them up there, or you could have some really sweet elves deliver them to your homes. And in January, our meeting in January 11th, it's going to be at 7:30 in room 150. We have a speaker. Her name is Nicole Anarone. Ina Anarone. She's going to be speaking about doing a presentation on behavior. So it's not just for special needs. It's for any, if you have any concerns about any behaviors for children, come down and see us.
Thanks very much, Mary Beth. PTA Council, Cindy or Kim? And booster clubs come at the same time? Okay, that's great. Sounds good.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I am Cindy Ambrosio. I'm one of the PTA Council presidents this year. We had our first meeting last month, which was very successful. We are working on our spring fundraiser, which Booster and both PTA Council are going to be doing together. We are going to be bringing back the Harlem Wizards this year again. So between both groups, we're hoping to have a great turnout for the community. And we just want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. It's hard to be saying that already. I feel like it was just September. But if we don't see you, enjoy your holidays.
Hi, I'm Lisa Documenti from Sports Booster. Our next event is the Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament, the varsity. We're going to be selling Wantagh wear and a mini concession stand. And if you want to all come out and support the Boys and Girls Varsity basketball game, they'll be more than happy to see you all there. And that is the week of December 5th. It's the 5th is the girls and 5th is the boys and Tuesday are the girls. And then, Wednesday. Am I right with that? The girls are Tuesday? Okay. Okay. And that's really it. Thanks.
Thank you, ladies. Bandwagon, is Brandy here? No? I'm just going to give a little plug to the band because I think the marching band's been doing a great job keeping up with the football schedule and getting out there on the weekends to support the team. So they are just awesome. So that's my plug for the band. Drama Club, Kim or Susanna? Oh, they're practicing their show. So if everybody can get to the show this weekend, it's supposed to be a great one. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, not during the day? No.
Sunday afternoon.
Sunday day. So go see Radium Girls. Okay, so that's our PTA groups. We will now open the floor to our community members to give us any of your concerns.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jennifer Strauss, and I live at 1429 Blue Spruce Lane. Even though there's an OSC audit underway, I think it's foolish for us to wait for a final report to discuss what's going on in this district. Too much has recently come to light, and we have a right to know what's going on with our elected officials. It would be nice if you looked at me, Mr. Greco. It would be like make eye contact. I'm here tonight to ask Mr. Greco some questions and to enlighten the community on where my diligence stands. I'm also here to say that it will continue. If ongoing investigations determine that Mr. Greco has acted unethically, we should hold the entire board responsible for being complicit. Recently, I learned that Mr. Greco's personal business is paid through a district account called Classroom Activities. I researched the district handbook, and the account is for student-raised funds, which I heard there's a lot of fundraising tonight. I'm wondering if some of that will pay for your business. This raises some questions. So, Mr. Greco, from what specific account was the money drawn? I'm hoping you'll answer me.
So, Ms. Strauss, the way that we work the public comment period, it's your opportunity to speak.
I've been here. I do understand that, but I would love Mr. Greco to actually engage in a conversation this evening.
I understand what you want, but this isn't a back and forth. So,
okay. So I'll ask all my questions, and I know you'll jot them down. Okay. Yep. So, what specific account was the money drawn from? How is that account replenished? Do the students have to fundraise more? Is this a violation of general municipal law? And if not, is it unethical? Did you open up bids for other restaurants to serve at these events? It's not lost on me that the recent adoption, the board proposed and then voted on August 18th to subsidize the personal legal costs of district employees is curious timing. From what I've experienced over the last months, it appears that you have crafted a false narrative about me because I dared to challenge you. Thankfully, it seems that the Greco era of eye-rolling and visible contempt for residents is coming to an end. I believe that in the best interest of this community, Mr. Greco should step down so we can rebuild a transparent board, a board that listens to and fosters a relationship with all community members and not just its circle of family and friends.
Hi, Jennifer Kramer. It's been a while. I'm not sure I have much different to say than Jen Strauss, but I have a couple of things to say. This is not questionably unethical. It's definitely unethical. There is a code of ethics that comes from the state, and there is a code of ethics for the Board of Education that you all have to abide by. And it says clearly that no member or family member of a Board of Education can benefit financially from their position. That's clear. There's a member on this Board of Education that's benefiting financially from their position. That's unethical. How you want to dance around that is up to all of you, because all of you including the administrators, are aware that it's going on. So you're all complicit in how it's happening. That's on all of you. But there's only one of you who's actually benefiting financially. It's unethical, and by your choice, you continue to remain on the Board of Education. You can step down and continue to do business as you please. Then the ethics are not an issue. I'm not saying you can't do business with the district. It's not a problem. Have your livelihood, make a profit, have whatever business you want with the district, but you are breaking the ethical code by profiting while sitting at that chair, period. So I agree, and I think you should think hard, because the more people learn the reality about what you're doing, the more pressure you're going to get. And again, by all means, you should do your business with the district, but you know damn well you shouldn't be doing it while you're sitting behind that table. Step down and do as you will, because you're not only putting yourself at risk, every person up there is at risk because they are all complicit with what you're doing. Thank you.
Hi, Christina Corwin, and I am here on behalf of the varsity wrestling team. I have a question about wrestling mats. There was money in last year's budget that was allotted to go to wall-to-wall mats in the middle school wrestling room. The mats that are currently in that, or not really currently in that room because they had to be pulled up, are from at least 2008. They're torn, they're shredded, the corners are all rolling up. There was money again in last year's budget to get wall-to-wall mats. We were told at the beginning of the school year there was a delay, but they would be here for the season. The season started Monday. There's no new wrestling mats. So what they had to do was pull up the really horribly torn, shredded pieces of the mats. I have a picture of it. It was like patchwork in the wrestling room. They then piecemeal those together. In this room, there are two competition mats that are used for dual meets in this room that they lay out for competition. Those two mats were not purchased by the district. Those were bought with money from the Wantagh Wrestling Alumni Foundation from fundraising that they've done. So the solution to no wrestling mats were to use the competition mats from this room and piecemeal them, or lay them down, I guess, in the middle school wrestling room. Those mats then are going to have to be rolled up and brought back and forth between the two schools when we do have competitions. So I guess my question is, where is the money that was supposed to go to the wrestling mats? And if the company, we got a bid from, I believe the name of the company was Dollarmer, which is a fairly reputable company. They came in with a respectable bid. The district didn't want to go with them and went with another company. I'm not sure who they decided to go with, because I don't know if there was a purchase order yet put in or if there's a receipt from what company was used. But I guess my question is, where's that money if we don't have mats? And if the company that you decided to use can't get them because we just told there's a delay, why don't we go with another company? Because I think the solution of rolling back mats back and forth is really kind of unacceptable, especially because those mats were not even purchased by the district. So I guess that's my question. I would love for someone to look into it, because we've been trying to get mats for years and have really not gotten an answer as to why this can't happen. And we were expecting them for this season. So your attention to this matter would be very appreciated. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Jean DiBiase, and I have a daughter in high school. And I believe some of probably everything was addressed already, but I couldn't hear it. So I'm going to read what I wrote. Can everybody hear me? I just want on record that there has been a lack of transparency since I have been coming to these board meetings, and I have felt my concerns don't really matter, as whatever the board or the administration says it goes. It has come to many in the community's attention that there seems to be a conflict of interest on the board with Mr. Greco. There is a lot of questions that many of us have that are quite concerning. Mr. Greco has a business that is being both used for school events and library events. Isn't this a conflict of interest as he is a sitting board member? I don't think a sitting board member should be allowed to have his business be used for any other events, as many as he has had already. I have seen the invoices using pies on wheels. I thought that the Board of Ed's policy was they are not allowed to accept gifts over 100, and yet there was a discount of $3,200 on one of the invoices. I would like this to be explained, as well as the other invoices that have been presented to the school by Jennifer Strauss. I think the community would also like to know what account this money has been taken out from to pay rolling in the dough to. I would like transparency and for the community to see how the accounts are run and appropriated for each club and event. I would like to know if other businesses have had an opportunity to be the lowest bidder for any given event. Saving money for the clubs who fundraise is quite important. I would like to know the money is not wasted. I do think from everything that has been uncovered, Mr. Greco should resign his position on the board. Also going forward, if there are any other conflicts of interest, then it needs to end. It needs to be brought to light for transparency so the community can develop trust. Once trust has been broken, it does take a long time to gain it back. Given there are serious issues that have been brought to light with the board, Mr. Greco, the money spent, I feel that the bond vote needs to wait until the audit is complete. I personally don't feel comfortable.
My name is Frank Messina. I have a daughter in middle school and a son in Forest Lake. My question tonight is about the threat last month that happened at the middle school. You guys, some of you ran on transparency, and there was exactly the opposite. We received one vague email about the threat, no follow-ups. Parents from the high school, which is connected to the middle school, did not get an email. So again, I know you can't give out information about the alleged suspect or whatever, because he's a minor, but is he back in school? Is he allowed back in school? What happened on the 15th? There was nothing. One parent square email. I mean, that's pretty sad, especially in this climate. So you preach transparency and we got nothing. I live around the corner from the school. The kid lives around the corner from me. Okay, so yeah, I have a personal issue about this. And the fact that the high school students, parents for the high school students were not informed, how is that even possible? And I'm all about safety. I'm on the Forest Lake Safety Committee. We actually have a meeting next week. I'm actually gonna bring up something with Ms. Zimmer about that, because we had an event outside in October, the Halloween dance, 2 weeks after this incident. I don't understand how that's a safe thing to do also. So that's basically my question for tonight. And as I tell my 13-year-old teenage girl, when she's dealing with a lot of the stuff that's going on at school, perception is everything. We could agree, right? Perception is everything. Are you sleeping? Perception is everything. Step down. Do the right thing.
Hello all, Don Haynes. Just checking out. I just want to piggyback on the security thing. That's why I'm here tonight. That's often when you guys see me. Of course, when something security related happens. Thank you for the speedy response, the email. It was quick. It went out. I didn't know that the high school didn't get it. Is that accurate? The high school parents didn't get that? I mean, I would think that every single parent in the school district should have got that because it relates to every single parent, every child. I know you can't give out information. I know that. I've done police work for a long time. I know how to brief. I know how to do press briefings. But it was very vague and it wasn't so detailed. And we're not looking for every single detail, but I beg you next time, because there's going to be a next time, that there's a little bit more information. Whatever it is, a video was posted, a bomb threat, just a little bit more specific. What happens is the most vicious game of telephone happens. That vague email goes out, and then the kids talk, and then the parents call another parent, and before you know it, it's like the kids invading Russia. It's so crazy, and the hysteria that it causes by not being more specific is worse than what actually happened. It just creates this craziness. So for next time, if that's at all possible. And of course, I'm asking for an update on where we are in armed security. Where are we on that? Is that a thought? Is that still a thought? I know we transitioned from hiring the company to now the school has the actual employees, they pay the employees. Is it possible? Can the school now hire armed security? Is that something that the school is thinking about? Is that something that we're entertaining? Where are we on that? That's it. Yeah, okay, great. All right, thanks. All right, thanks.
Hello, my name is Marilyn Rich. I have 2 children in the district. Don actually skipped right in front of me, and you just skipped me. But a lot of the same questions that I had were regarding security, the contract during the day. I understand we don't have a security guard contract currently during the day for our students. I believe only in the evenings for patrol. I don't know why that was abolished. I may have missed that, but I think it's important in lieu of recent events and the climate of the world just in general that we relook at security and enhance it for our kids. And again, he brought up armed security. That is something that I was hoping we could readdress and possibly learn more about for the district and for the safety of our children. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Bloom, longtime resident of Wantagh, and I'd just like to follow up on what Ms. Corwin was saying about these wrestling mats. I have a strong attachment to all of that, and there is no reason why something that's within the budget cannot be delivered in time. There are just several companies that have these mats in stock. So why they're not here now, I don't know, but they're not here. Where the money is a question that Ms. Corwin asked. I don't know if anyone here knows where the money is, but we do have Ms. Keene here, the athletic director, who maybe can answer the questions that Ms. Corwin asked. Maybe. Okay, so
Mr. Bloom,
Are they
I'll
coming?
answer that
Where's,
again.
oh, you will.
Yeah, I
Okay,
will.
good.
I'll address that when, after the public comment period.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Gina Digdon. I have children in the district. And I just had a question about, or maybe a suggestion about the security that we're kind of experiencing. I remember way back when, during the beginning of COVID, and we had to answer like that questionnaire that every week, you know, have you been exposed? Have you traveled? Have you this? Have you that? And I got to thinking about ways in which our actual children who are in the school, they are experiencing things, they're in the classrooms, they're working with the children in their grades and in their classes, and they see a lot. I mean, when I go home and I talk about, you know, some of the things that have happened as far as security and the threats, and they know more than we know. Is there a way to possibly anonymously send these surveys to our children? I've thought about it, and I've hesitated to bring it up because then targeting can happen, and there's just a lot that goes into it. But if you've got students who are consistently voicing concerns about another student, about something they've heard, it could be a viable way to, you know, before something really terrible happens, maybe circumvent that and look into it. I don't know. I just feel like our children are a great resource for us because they do know a lot about what's going on, and they forget, or they don't want to say, or, you know, I think they could be a great resource in helping protect themselves. And I think that maybe, again, I don't know the legality of anything that could be done, but it was just an idea that I had thought of, and I wanted to present it. If there is a way that they can anonymously take a survey, have you seen anything, experienced anything that's unusual, or have you ever felt unsafe? Just a way to take the temperature of the kids, because I think that they can really be, you know, helpful in situations like this with what they know but maybe haven't said. So just an idea. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Louise Radzicki. I have 2 children in the district. And I guess the other side of the coin about concern about safety of our students and our staff is if you can just answer questions about the status of the partnership with Northwell Health and the mental health issues that the children are experiencing, if there are any crises that children are experiencing. If we're not partnering with Northwell Health, what are we doing? So I'd appreciate some information. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Melanie Simeone. I'm a resident of 3199 Beltaw Avenue. I appreciated the meeting we had earlier this week regarding the bond. I have a husband who's an alumni of Wantagh, and I have 2 children who will be future students here at Wantagh. I felt personally in the dark with this. I don't have kids currently in the district. As far as the bond goes, specifically Proposition number 2, as it affects the safety of my children and the area in which we live. So my ask is, in the future, with future planning, if the bond does pass, that residents of Beltaw Avenue are included in discussions, and just some transparency there. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Visna. I live on Walters Avenue. I have 1 student in the middle school, and my segue is the bond. I feel like you made an effort with the website, the portal, the mailings to the entire community, the boards at the school, but I still am hearing rumblings on social media that people feel like they don't know what's going on, and I don't know what to say. I don't know how to get the word out. Should it be hanging from the LIRR? Should it be at the McDonald's drive-through? I don't know what, because I'm nervous that this, what did you say, 60-year-old building, my son won't go to the bathroom. He will, but I'm being facetious. Yeah, the repairs need to happen, but I feel like there's a lot of folks who are going to claim they don't know anything about it. They didn't get the mailer, and they're going to vote it down. And then we're going to have this old building with terrible windows and bad HVAC. So I don't know if as the Herald, maybe the Herald needs to write something. I haven't seen anything. Community members, especially with people with no kids, I worry that they don't feel informed. So I just wanted to raise the flag. And even the resident who lives around the corner didn't feel like she knew what was going on either. So I don't know. It's hard. I mean, we live in a small town, but yet there's so many millions different ways to reach out to people, and you're never going to hit everybody. But anyway, go Bond.
I'm sorry, I also want to put on record, I really think that we have security guards that are retired police officers. They really need to be armed. That is the first line of defense. So I just want to put on record, I agree with that too. I'm Jean DiBiase.
All right, seeing no else, we'll close out our public comment period. Thank you all who participated in our meeting this evening. We certainly appreciate it. I'll certainly do my best to answer some of the questions and concerns. I'll start with the wrestling mats. Ms. Corwin, thank you for bringing that up. Can you hear me better now? Is that better? Okay, sorry about that. The wrestling mats, we'll start there. We absolutely have that money set aside for the wrestling mats. That was part of the budget process last year, that those wrestling mats were ordered at the start of the school year. We were informed several weeks ago about the delays in production from the company that we ordered, Young Equipment, and are still awaiting the arrival of those mats. And that's when we made that swap out with the competition mats that you referenced here. It's my understanding that those competition mats will remain in there, and then there's our tournament that we host that we would need them for, and we would take them out of there. But otherwise, until the other mats arrive, we'll be using those mats in there. Please know that the mats have been ordered. It's intention to put them in there. There were production delays. We reached out to another vendor as well when we were informed from Young Equipment about the delay. I think it's actually the vendor that you referenced earlier, and inquired. They had similar timelines to what was shared with us from Young Equipment in terms of turnaround time. So I certainly am disappointed as well that they're not here for the start of the season. They certainly should have been, but please know that that money is there, and that they have been ordered, and we are just waiting for them to be delivered by Young Equipment. We were certainly disappointed in their communication with us too. When we initially did the order, not hearing about any kind of delays right away, inquiring again, and then them informing us of some of those delays in their production. Leave anything out, Ms. Keen, in terms of that? Oh, the two, that's right. The two companies, I think the other company you're referencing had merged, so it was, that was, yep. Yeah. So those are some of the challenges. Not to make excuses, they should have been there, but that was the reason for that. So I certainly apologize on behalf of the district that they were not in place. I think that's to Mr. Bloom. I think that's to Mr. Bloom's point about just ordering something that's stock. Yeah. Yeah, so those are, I guess, the normal lead times, right? A couple of bond-related questions. Just to jump over to that, we had, in terms of the propositions and the communication, certainly trying to get as much communication out there as possible. We had a total of 3 community forums. We did 3 communications with direct mail out to every home in the community. The 3rd arrives this week. We did 2 full newsletters and continue to post information on the website. All of those presentations are there and available for anybody that would like to view those. We did different versions of those, from a 2-minute version for someone that really just wants kind of a quick overview, to a lengthier 20-minute version, to the full hour presentations that we did. Our challenge to Ms. Business Point certainly is always reaching out to our non-school community folks. We created a community email list, and that was helpful. We do have several hundred people on that list. That's not the thousands that we would love to see, but we do have several hundred people on that list. And we have the ability through our Parent Square communication to get that out to folks. So anything that we've sent out bond related, we've sent that as well. And certainly, incorporating the folks from, I know we have a resident here from Wantagh. We had a meeting with the residents over on Wantagh on Tuesday evening, and I certainly well attended, and I certainly appreciate everyone that came out for that meeting as well. Some of the security related concerns that certainly came up, and some of you certainly made this point. Our challenge in communicating some of those things is what we can share and can't share. Always difficult. Many of the conversations that I had with folks in around there, they say, I know you can't share, but can you at least tell me this? And unfortunately, my answer to all those questions that they typically ask is, no, I'm sorry, I can't share that information. It's certainly sensitive when we're dealing with a minor, and they have FERPA protection as well. But please know, in regards to security, we have done a tremendous amount of work around that. And in that area, we have a tremendous partnership with NCPD. They have been nothing short of fantastic when we have concerns. We have regular contact with Homeland Security. They have been a great partner with us. And when we bring concerns to their attention, they do address them immediately and continue to follow up. And even as we continue to get more information, they continue to follow up and are right there along with us. We take these extremely seriously. And to some of the points that were raised earlier, please know that this is a multi-pronged approach. This isn't just hardening your district and your facility. Although we've done that, where just adding additional lockdown systems, adding vestibules, adding a visitor management system, adding cameras, dozens and dozens of cameras, doing all those things. We've done those pieces, but it's also more than that, right? It's the mental health piece, to Mrs. Radzicki's point. She certainly brought up that concern. That's ongoing. One of the areas of focus as an administrative team this year has been in the area of threat assessment. We have done training with our administrative team around that, so that we have consistency to approach across all of our buildings. They've created threat assessment teams in each one of our buildings. And then the support of our mental health staff. We've added an additional social worker this year to help add in terms of those supports. We have guidance counselors now across all levels, which we hadn't had in the past. There's so much more to security than just all those physical attributes of a building. It's really, and I think this is really to Mrs. Degnan's point, in regards to having our students as a resource. Anytime we're doing an investigation like this, they're the ones providing so much of that information to us, and oftentimes telling us about some of those things. And I want to just, particularly in this situation at the middle school, commend one of our parents who was outstanding in terms of getting that information to us right away. And then the administrative team, they were on this from the get-go, and put in countless hours to make sure it was addressed and addressed thoroughly. And then, the other part of this, I mentioned NCPD, in terms of the partnerships, but it's partnerships with other organizations as well. Mr. Radzicki mentioned Northwell Health. We are currently working on a partnership, a mental health partnership. The challenge we ran into with Northwell Health is their capacity to support us. We had multiple meetings with them in the spring and then again in the summer, and they weren't able to take us on because they were at capacity. So we started to explore other options. We have a potential partnership with somebody else that we expect to be able to announce shortly that can provide some direct services. I'm just not prepared to do that yet, but we do anticipate being able to do that shortly. And then in terms of the internal. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then audits. So in terms of, there's reference to our extra class activity fund this evening. That's an account that you heard tonight, from some of our different clubs, different fundraising efforts, all those things. So. And even on our board agenda tonight, you saw that our classroom extra class charter accounts were approved. We have a number of clubs that run throughout the district, from student government to all sorts of different clubs, drama, all of those, and they do various fundraising activities. For example, for our drama club, they sell tickets, they sell ads, they do all those things, and they reinvest that money back into their shows. We have student government and we have class accounts, right? Each one of our classes has accounts and they do various fundraising activities. Each one of those extra class accounts has a student treasurer and then a faculty advisor. It's typically the club advisor. And they manage those funds and oversee those funds. Those are at the discretion of the club, the faculty advisor and that student treasurer in terms of how they allocate those dollars. So if they want to do the 8th grade class, wants to do a end-year event with a DJ and have after they're crossing over, have a dance, they allocate those funds to do that. The class advisor for that grade, along with the treasurer, then would make that requisition request and allocate their funds. So that's what our class advisors do. That's how that's how those work. All those funds are separate and apart from district funds. Anything we run in terms of anything that is tax money, state aid money that we receive, all that is separate and apart. These are accounts that sit separately, and there's a line for each one of them, and then they're managed by that particular club in that particular building. The big thing, I think, when you look at the guidance in terms of our clubs or our classroom advisors and those accounts, is they'll say that they're.
Can we engage in a conversation? Because I actually have a question regarding that. So I just want to shout from back there.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm
so I
happy
don't
to
wanna
engage
shout,
in a
so-
conversation with you afterwards.
I actually want to do it in public because
But
I'm wondering
I-
about 8th graders and a teacher
I'm just
advisor.
gonna-
He makes the decision on their salary.
I'm just gonna stop.
And then they have
I'm just gonna stop.
fundraised
I'm
and
gonna
where they're
stop
going to
you,
go
Mrs.
with
Strauss.
that money.
Our
So
public-
he makes a decision.
I'm going to stop you, Mrs. Strauss. Our public
Okay.
comment period is over.
Yeah, but
So
this
I'm gonna
conversation
ask
needs to be had.
that-
So
and I'm
the
happy
teacher
to speak to you after the
advisor
meeting.
has his
Once
or her
again,
contract
I'm gonna-
approved by this man. Okay. Oh, security? Okay. So it
Once again,
does
our public-
compromise the
once again, our
teacher and the
public comment
students
period
who
is
need
over.
to make decisions about money. So I understand that, but see, the problem is, I
I'd
want you
ask
to
you to let me
answer this
finish
question right
responding,
now.
and I'd
That
ask you to step away from the microphone,
you have
please.
teachers who are overseeing money that children have raised, and then Mr. Greco is in charge
All right, I'm going to
of-
officially end
of
the meeting. Ms.
approving their
Strauss, you're out of order. We're going to
contract.
close the meeting. Thank you for
And
attending
so
tonight.
that is a